Welcome to E's Roundtable. I'm your host, Ervin Williams, and this is my roundtable. Well, not like a round table because there's no table, obviously, but I have my panel here with chairs. And I will be asking questions tonight about various topics. My first topic tonight is going to be about the tragedies that happened in 9/11. Sorry. These are my panel. State your name, sir.
Danny Foxx.
Sherill Peters.
D. Sharp.
And these are my intelligent panel guests tonight. I want to start off quick with, first, Mr. Foxx. Where were you when the towers hit?
Where was I? I think I was at home. And saw it on TV, saw the news when it first broadcasted. And it was tragic. When after the first plane hit, you know, and they broadcast it on TV, showing it, and watching the second plane hit. But yeah, I was at home.
So what were your thoughts when you first seen it?
Oh man, my thoughts? Well, at the time, I really didn't have much thoughts because I didn't know what was going on. But then afterwards, when they were saying terrorists, you know, then my thoughts then was almost like, you know, what are we going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like bad in a sense. And then, you know, when I found out it was terrorists, I wanted something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was terrible.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. Now, Ms. Peters, same question.
What was the question again? Can you repeat it?
Yes. The question is, where were you at the time the towers were hit on that tragedy of 9/11?
Well, I remember worked at the Holy Cross Hospital as an EKG technician. And I'll never forget that day because I was coming down from taking care of one of the patients, and everybody was watching this on TV. And I thought it was actually some kind of movie. And they told me that the tower had gotten bombed with this airplane. And immediately, it was like some kind of connection I had. I started crying.
Yeah, very emotional.
I mean, I saw people flying out. I mean, I was in shock, literally. And it really affected me for a while. It depressed me. It depressed me for a while. So emotionally, I was kind of messed up for a couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, we all were in that. Mr. Sharpless, where were you when the towers hit?
I was at my lawyer's office, and I was walking in the back, you know, for counsel, and everybody was just running to the TV, and it was like, man, did you see that? A plane just hit the Trade Center. And in my mind, like, is this real? You know, is it just a hoax, or is it really real? And as time went by, and you found out that it wasn't real, and you start seeing the whole aspect of it, I was just blown away. Because the focus was off what I was going to talk to the lawyer about onto what in the world are these people going through at this particular moment.
Yes.
When something like this just hits you unexpected, no warning whatsoever, and your life is just taken away instantly.
Because you have to live every day like it's your last.
Like it's your last.
Never know.
And me personally, I think it was 2001. I think I was in like an 11th grade at that time. I was in high school. Yeah, I'm a little younger than you guys are, but I was in high school, and I was in class. I'll never forget, I was in African American Studies class. And we're sitting there, you know, studying, you know, doing our normal thing, you know, me being the character acting the fool. Next thing you know, they turn on the TV. It's like, okay, so there's something going on in the news. And I'm thinking it's a movie. I was like, oh, it's a new movie that came out. It's like, no, this is really going on. Look, this is breaking news in New York. Tower hit there, and Pentagon. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? So everybody's immediately rushing, trying to call their parents, cell phones. I had a lot of people that I went to high school with that their parents worked either at the Pentagon or were in New York at that time. And, you know, it was really surreal. You know, being younger, I didn't really understand because I'd never seen anything like that happen in my lifetime until then. But, you know, it really makes you, you know, value life and, you know, kind of cherish the loved ones that you have in your life. So, and that brings me into my next question, which is, Mr. Foxx, Now, that day, did you lose someone?
No.
Or if you didn't lose anybody, how would you feel if you lost someone?
Oh man, definitely devastated. You know, especially like that. Like you said, live every day like it should last. And with them just going about their normal day, working, not knowing something like that just happened. But I would definitely feel hurt.
Well, me, I didn't lose anybody, but at that particular time, I felt like I had lost somebody. I've talked to people that had lost people. I felt a spiritual connection because, you know, it was like, I was very emotional about it. So I didn't lose anybody personally, but it affected me. And I have lost people before, so I know how it feels to lose someone.
Yeah, it's never a good thing.
Yeah. So.
Did you have anybody you lost, Sherill?
Well, by blood, no. But every life that was lost was my family. And as I watch in horror, seeing people jump to their death, I could only imagine what it felt like just to be at that moment when you don't know what to do, to the point where you just literally jump and take your life, trying to save your life, knowing there's no way out. Yeah. Everybody that died that tragic day, it will always be a part of us, because we're all family. It's no creed, no color, we're all family. And whether it was by blood or not, everybody that was lost, yes, I lost family.
And in that aspect, we all lost.
Exactly.
Because as
there were no winners.
As Americans, we should all love one another, no matter what color or what race or ethnicity we are. We need to stick together, and especially in times like this.
Everybody dropped all differences and came together.
And actually, I feel like the 9/11 change, the change that came about today that's in America started with the 9/11. Because shortly after that, it just seemed like so many things that, you know, have taken place. I felt like, you know, the security that they have now, I felt like, you know, when I come out of the house now, I'm always on camera.
Yeah, everything's heightened.
Everything.
Yeah, and it was never like that before.
No.
But now everything, you know, you're on camera. I mean, the security, it changed the way the security is. And I guess it's needed, but sometimes I feel like there's no privacy in this world. The minute you come outside, you're on camera, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it affects the world today, as of today. You know, it was the starting point of the new trend today.
Now, does this day and all the violence that's been going on in other countries lately, does it scare you going forward for more attacks on the United States?
Does it scare me going forward? You're always aware. I mean, it doesn't really scare me or stop me from doing anything, but you're always aware. You know, especially like she said, with all the security, it has been heightened. You know, if you go through the airport, you know, you make sure that they're doing things, you know, to make sure nothing gets through.
Yeah.
So it does make you a little more aware.
A little paranoid. I feel it makes you a little paranoid, you know, about everybody. What do you got in those bags?
Yeah. You don't want to single nobody out, but
you know, who are you? You know. Yeah.
What do you feel on that, Sharpless?
It definitely makes you more aware of what's going on. Mm-hmm. It helps you to really take life serious, and you know, and try to reach out to people more, and try to get into the mind of, if you're hurting, what can I do to help?
Yes.
Because only hurting people hurt people.
Right.
And them guys were brainwashed that they had no conscience whatsoever to take something big as an airplane and fly into a building with thousands of people that they didn't even know. It takes a cold person to just kill people you ain't never seen.
Right. And not only them, the
Including
people themselves.
Themselves. You have no, it's hard to kill a man that ain't scared to die.
You're right.
It's hard to kill someone that ain't scared to die.
You're right.
So it definitely makes you more aware of your surroundings.
So with that being said, what do you think the importance of family is throughout tough times like this that we go through here in the United States?
Love one another, definitely. You know, be there, support them. As you say before, you never know when it's your time. Live every day like it's your last. Definitely love, 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 love.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel that, you know, this kind of thing make you get closer to your family, you know. Meaning to know that when you say goodbye, that could be the last goodbye that you said to yourself. You can't take that for granted, that, you know, that you're saying goodbye, because a lot of those people, you know, said goodbye, didn't say goodbye, and they felt, and I've heard some of those people that lost somebody in there wanted to say goodbye, and they never got to say goodbye. So I think, you know, you should love each other. You should never, you know, as far as relationship, it should closen your relationship to make you think that, you know, never go away mad with someone in your family, because you never know if that was the last time that you'll be able to, and you didn't get to make up with that person. So, you know, relationship-wise, I think those kind of things should make you love and get closer to your family and friends.
Mr. Sharpless?
Well, family. Family is all you got at the end of the day. Family is important because you don't pick and choose who your family is. God does that, and there's a reason for it. And whether someone is in your family doing the right thing, it's still your family. You do what you can to help your family overcome whatever issue, struggle it is. When you know that you've done all you can for family, then that's all that's required. But you have to walk in love and always walk in forgiveness, because God forgave us. If family wrong you, get it right. Because like you say, there's so many people left home for work. Kiss the kids, see you this evening, see you at lunch, whatever the case may be, but never made it back. So many fathers never saw their unborn children. You know, they lost limbs, all kind of things were lost. And I'm pretty sure when you look back over it now, the most important thing in this world is going to always be love and family.
Because at the end of the day, that's all you have.
That's all you have.
And I mean, if you can't stick by your family, I mean, all you have is that, and you can't do it by yourself.
Can't do it by yourself.
No, you can't. And I mean, I always value the importance of family. You know, by having a strong mother and a strong grandmother in my life, like, that was all I needed to know, that, you know, family is important.
It is. Family is important.
And as I got older, I would preach that to the next generation and my kids, and, you know, and anybody else that needs guidance in their life, because that's important. Because we cannot stand up as a people if
we lose the family.
Exactly. And on that note, we're going to take our break, and we'll be back after these messages.
My injury was a gunshot wound to the left abdomen from a sniper. My first contact with the paralyzed veterans was in Walter Reed.
We help them apply for automobile grants, special adaptive housing, and vocational rehabilitation.
Now I'm going back to school to earn a degree. I'm working with a real estate agency in town, and I'm just spending time with my wife and child.
To help our paralyzed veterans, visit pva.org.
And welcome back to E's Roundtable. Again, I am your host, E-Dub, Ervin Williams. I'm going to start off this segment with relationships. Mr. Foxx, when it comes to approaching, do you think it's wrong for a woman to come and approach a man as far as, you know, wanting to talk to them? And if it's accepted, what do you feel about it?
Nah, I don't feel like it's wrong. I feel like that's a good thing, too. I mean, she knows who she wants just as well as a man knowing who he wants, you know what I mean? So if she sees something she like, go get it. Because if you don't say something, you might miss that opportunity. So, yeah. So definitely, if you see somebody you like, better say hi.
You might miss out on your opportunity.
You might miss out.
It's like miss that bus, next will come 15 minutes. What you think, Ms. Peters?
I think it's okay, but I think, it's an approach that a woman, it's the approach that a woman takes.
What you mean, the approach?
I don't believe a man.
Are you trying to say a woman shouldn't approach the man?
No, I'm not saying she shouldn't approach him. It's a. Well, I'm from the old school a little bit. I'm talking old
Just a
school
little bit?
right now. A lot. I'm old fashioned. I come from the back in the day.
Don't tell you.
Yeah,
And
you like you were scared to say it.
I don't care. I'm
That's the best
51 years
time.
old, so I come. 70s
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
I actually was born in the 60s, but and then I come from a background that had that a lot of principles. So it was always that, being a woman and a queen, I call it. I believe that a man should approach a woman, but a woman can make an advance to let him know that she likes him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't see nothing wrong with that, but I think it's kind of wrong with, hey, I think when it's a little, I personally, as a woman, feel out of place just trying to approach a man and just coming out directly and say, hey, I like you. I mean, it's a little great. I don't see nothing wrong with it, but I
hope not with a deep
that ain't
voice
my
like
style.
that. I really hope not with a deep voice.
It's not my style.
But do you feel like if you don't say at least hi, that you just missed out on your opportunity to go on a date or do whatever?
I will flirt now. I'm a big flirt now. I can flirt
very
well.
Something as simple as that.
Flirting is nothing wrong, but I'm just saying, just the aggressiveness that that I see some women has. It's almost like a man,
They'll let
approach.
You know.
And I just don't think that that's ladylike, but
it's all the way you do it. It's all about how you.
But it all depends on what two people likes, basically. If the guy, because there might be some guys that could turn some guys off, too. A woman being aggressive.
Well, it depends on the individual.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
I think it's just to each his
I don't see nothing wrong with it. Because like you say, if it's just like me as a man, if I would see a woman that I'm interested in, I'm going to let her know. I won't never know if I don't ask.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's pretty normal for a man to do. But women...
But you talking about the day and time we're living in now.
But still, yes, women still...
you got women that approach men, hey, how you doing? You seeing someone?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's just not my style, that's all. I would have a different approach.
And how many guys you missed out on because you didn't approach?
I don't think I missed out on too many.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Let's count them up here. Bring out the calculator.
So we having a round table. So you saying you and your girl that never sat back and just watch a group of guys say, ooh, he is cute.
Of course.
And never thought about going in and saying something to him?
Like I said, that wouldn't be my approach. My approach, because first of all, a man has to show me some interest. Okay, I got to feel that he's feeling me too.
Vice versa.
So what in your opinion?
But the flirt,
how would you want a man
I might
to approach
smile at him, and I'll see if he smiles at me and gazes at me back. Body language says a whole lot of things.
Right. And that's still you saying.
So you don't really have to just, hey, baby, what's happening? What's your name? I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Well, you have to be disrespectful about it, but I mean.
But there's some women that's aggressive like that, but I guess, I don't know, to each his own, but I find that a little strange, awkward for me to do.
Now, it's a different age now.
Well, it could be a different age, but it doesn't mean that one's morals, and opinions of something has to change.
But a woman can approach a man in a respectful way.
But, I mean, like you said, to each his own,
Right.
one. But again, like you and your group of girls are sitting back and you say, oh, he's cute. Now, if he's cute and that's something you like, you see something you like, but if you sit back and not say anything, He's gone. He's single too.
I'm not saying that you don't have to say anything.
Oh, you know you're going to say something. Go ahead and tell it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because some women, they don't even give the man time enough to even look at him. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that man might not even be interested, and they just aggressive like that. I don't know.
But you never know. You never know. Just like the man coming and talking to you.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
We don't know if you're taking either until we start asking questions.
Until we engage in conversation.
Right.
So you could do the same thing. You see that man you like, whether you
But
use your body language or whatever.
There you go.
I'm just a little old-fashioned.
Yeah.
It's just not my style. It's not something that I do. But I can be flirtatious and smile and let a gentleman know. And if he starts a conversation, then I have to get there. But just to be aggressively,
believe it or not,
when
you
baby,
smile,
come here.
When you smiling like that,
that's me.
You approaching, because letting that man know she's interested.
But sometimes that's not so. But you're right about that, about gestures of smiling, because sometimes I don't even be interested in people, and I'm smiling and don't realize that I'm smiling. I have to be careful of that because that gets taken wrong. And the wrong person that you're not even liking, think you're liking them, you know?
Well, let's be honest, there are crazy people in this world, so you do have to watch out for that. You have to be mindful of that, too.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I pretty much, I don't know, I actually really respect when a woman approaches a man. At the age that I am, I think it's cool. I mean,
Yeah, it's cool.
again, it all depends on, like you said, it all depends on how you approach that individual. Now, if a woman comes at me correct, if she says, "Oh, I think you're a very handsome man," and you know we have a stimulating conversation, and it stems from there, and she lets me know how she feels, then that's how you let someone know in a mature, intellectual way.
Right.
Now, that's how it should be. Now, we ain't talking about you out on the street somewhere and you yelling across the street at somebody on 495 times, hey, what's going on? You know.
Can I get your phone number?
Let me get your phone number. You know, it's not like that. You know, and it shouldn't be. But like I said, it all depends on who you're talking to. Okay, so what is the biggest age difference that you would allow in a relationship?
Being like what? Like being a 10-year difference between the two?
Whether
ages?
it's older or younger.
I'm still kind of confused. You mean the youngest I would date?
Yeah, the youngest or the oldest. What is the maximum age range you would?
Maximum, yeah. I don't know. I can't really put a number on it. You know what I mean? I guess it depends on. Well, definitely. Well, okay. Let me. How would I?
But tell our ages.
Yeah. I'll say like about 8 years. 8 years younger. Older. Good Lord. I'll say 8 years older too. And that's going to depend on a lot of things too, you know. Yeah.
Their style, their personality.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel you. Ms. Peters?
Well, I think there should be a cap, but I do find that you have some young men that have old souls, I say. I've seen some that I probably won't go as far as, I think age is a number to a certain degree, but I definitely don't want to rock cradles because at some point the little boy does come out. Even grown men, the little boy come out.
Yes.
To me, that's what a lot of women think, because they always say that women, we're a lot, like, we mature a little faster
So you
than
saying
men.
yeah,
A lot,
so
I mean,
they
that's
say.
what they always say.
So you saying you're not trying to be a cougar?
Well, I won't say that I won't be a cougar. I have dated, a 35-year-old man. I didn't know he was 35. He kind of told me a little story, but he was so much more mature, I didn't know that he was 35. So that let me know that sometimes age is a number.
Yeah.
Because this young man had it going on even better than some 60-year-olds. So you got some 60-year-olds that's still acting like kids and babies.
Say it ain't so.
So I think it's a chemistry thing.
Definitely.
I believe it's a chemistry thing, and it is a cap. It should be a cap, because I do believe that at some point, even though some people might be mature in some ways, the little boy and the little girl will come out. And that's where your problems can begin.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and the older you are, you don't want to deal with all that youngness. And
Yeah.
Yes, it's a maturity thing.
Yeah.
That's the key thing in that.
Exactly. I would have to go with, well, you know, saying age ain't nothing but a number. You can't always go by that now.
Yeah.
No.
Because you got a lot of young people that are very mature and carry themselves well. Then you got a lot of older people that's wilding out. Yeah. They're doing everything under the sun. They're in the club every weekend. They're doing it up. You know, the young lady wearing the tightest clothes and everything hanging left and right. So I think it's a maturity thing. For me, maybe 5 years up and down, younger or older. Because I don't want nobody to walk around with a cane either, as far as older.
Collecting insurance money on that.
And I don't be with nobody's babies either.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maturity got a lot to do with it across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Well, me on that aspect.
Compatibility.
Me, it's like you said, it's compatibility. I did date women younger, but you know it was again a maturity thing, you know. And the way that I am, like you were stating about the old soul, that's me all day.
All day long.
I mean, I may be only 27, but I got a soul of a 40-something-year-old.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, it shows. And most older women seem to be attracted to me anyway. So, you know, I kind of were drawn to older women because I feed on my maturity matches the level that they're at. And even the things I'm trying to do in my life, it correlates with what they're doing. So it's kind of like it doesn't even seem like there's an age difference because, you know, I'm right there with them. And like I said, again, on that aspect, it all depends on the maturity of the person, you know. How you were brought up, you know, the experiences that you had in your life and who influenced you. Like, you know, whether you had church people or whether you had people in your family that just, you know, like me personally, I was the only child, so I had no choice but to be grown at an early age because I had to stand up and be a man on my own, you know, not having a father, so I had to stand up and be that man. And, you know, it worked out for the best.
Cool.
And you two may not have much to say about this, but this is probably more directed towards you. Why do you think men are afraid of commitment?
Why do I feel that men are afraid of commitment?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things about commitment in this time of day, I think the biggest thing of commitment is that the laws of marriage. Some people are just afraid of getting into the legal aspects of marriage because you can be in a relationship and, you know, many people shack up, but when you marry, it's a whole different ball game legally. It's easy to get in, sometimes it's hard to get out. So some men, I guess they don't really want to make the commitment as to being tied up into something legally. If they're ready to go, they just go. So I think that's why a lot of men don't get married. And then some just want their cake and eat it too. You know.
Let me speak on that as a man. Wow.
Okay.
I would love to hear a man's point of view from that.
Are afraid to commit. Many things come to mind, but I do know fear is one. Because we have a lot of what we call strong, independent women now.
Yes.
And they'll say real quick, I don't need a man.
But they do.
So when a man get in a relationship with a woman that tight, he's really fighting. They're not coming together as one.
Well,
Because
not only that, but I think another issue is once you commit, you give up a lot.
Exactly.
You give up a lot.
Exactly.
And once you commit and you realize you're giving up this and that and you're not really ready,
Yeah.
then there it goes.
Because what once was mine is now ours.
Right.
And I'm not ready to share my space. I like you, I love you, but I really don't want to give this up.
And you can't go.
And you
go
can't,
as you please.
right? You can't go as you please. You want to check phones and all this other kind of stuff.
Especially, it gets real hairy if you're coming in a relationship with 40 acres and a mule,
Exactly.
and she coming in with a trash bag
Exactly.
and a pillow.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I think that all comes in place to why, you know, people really, why do you make commitments, you know? Are you in love? And I think that, you know, people wanting the same thing at the same time is what makes people want to commit. When people are really, truly in love.
Right. And
Unconditionally.
Want the same things.
You know, unconditional, you love that person no matter what. You love that person rusty feet, whatever it may be. You love that person, and whatever, you know, you would do anything with that person. And I think that's the whole key to people wanting me to make a commitment, is saying that this is it. And it has to be two ways, feeling that way. You know, but sometimes it could be that way, and then it could also, you know, I think there's just stages of relationship, but all in all, when it's conditional love, you know, you're gonna be with that person no matter what. No matter what, that love is just never gonna go away. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens, it could get distorted. It could, you know, it could go through so many phases. But when it all boils down, when you love somebody, you just love them, you know?
The number one factor is fear.
Yeah.
But in any relationship, you got to understand one thing. I tell people this all the time. Love the person for who they are. It's like me as a man, I can't go out there and pick out a dime piece, as we call it today. And then a few years later, she's a Coke or a 3-liter. But when you find somebody that you really love, it don't make no difference what stages they go through in life. But because you love them for the right reason, you not only be able to commit, but you can keep your commitment. That I love you for all the right reasons. I didn't marry you or love you because you had all this money in the bank or you had this type of car. I love you because of you. And then too, you got the dynamics of people are afraid that people can't love them for who they are. They got to have a certain type body. They got to have a certain type income. But there's somebody out there that love you for who you are and will commit to you until the end.
And that's how it should be, because a lot of people don't realize that all that materialistic stuff, just how you got it, you can lose it just as
It comes
quick.
and goes. You know, I tell people just like weight. I seen women that was 300 pounds and they go on a diet and go to the gym. Next thing you know, they straight as straight.
All them assets that she had
It's gone.
is no more.
And then you got a good-looking woman that was 110 pounds when you married her, and now she's 300, but you can't love her the same. The truth is there was no commitment there.
Right. And unfortunately, that's the reason for a lot of failed relationships, not only relationships, but, you know, marriages in general.
Well, you know, some people fall out of love. I mean, I think relationships go through phases in life. Like I said, the true love is really going to tell it. Because, you know, at certain times in our life, sometimes you outgrow. And I know this from experiences, you know, you can outgrow a relationship. And
Why is that?
because certain things where you were at, say, you know, you and I, say two people, they wanted the same thing at the same time, okay? It was cool at that time. But 10 years passed by, and say this person went here, but that person stayed there. So you kind of outgrew that person, and the love that you had for that person right there, that person kind of turned you off about things because you begin to see things a little differently at 10, 20 years later. But that person still was, at that 10 years ago, wasn't growing together.
Haven't grown.
You know,
Still stuck.
so a lot, that's what happened to a lot of relationships. People outgrow each other, or, you know, the morals, the things changes, like you say, physical things change, people get turned off for whatever reason. But as I was saying, when you have that unconditional love, it's rare. But when you have it,
Cherish
it doesn't matter what the relationship goes through. You know, the person could go through something and forgive that person, but that person still love that person. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But relationship will go through things, and sometimes you even start taking each other for granted, and you never realize what you had until it was gone.
Until it's gone.
And then when it's gone, you're like, you want it back. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just think that, you know, the unconditional love is the best love, and that's rare. Yeah. That's rare.
And, you know, too, thinking about relationships, you have to be honest with each other from the beginning if you want it to survive. You have to be honest. Because when you get into a relationship with secrets, whether just dating or getting married with secrets, when those secrets start to come out, it's going to destroy it. And I don't care how bad you want to hold on, you can't. Here's a good scenario I always use all the time when I talk with different couples. Here's a person drowning, and I'm coming to save you because you're drowning. But when I get to you, you start fighting me because you're afraid that you're dying. But you're not realizing that I'm here to help you. So I have to make a choice, whether I'm going to sit here and try my best to save you and pull you to safety, or I'm going to die with you. And sometimes in a relationship, you got to make that choice. Either I'm going to die with this person trying to save them, or I'm going to come out of it and live. And it all falls back to commitment. And in a relationship will work if you commit to each other and be honest with each other about everything. If I like strawberries, don't bring me pineapples. I done told you I wanted strawberries.
Yeah, but I believe in the trust thing. Because when that trust is gone, you have nothing.
Nothing.
When the trust in a relationship is gone, it's trust.
And communication are key.
And it's a real big thing when it comes to relationships. Once that's gone, you really have nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's hard to get back. I mean, you cheat on somebody and you do them wrong. I mean, that's just human nature. It's I mean, it's hard to fight back from that. I mean, and I know, and I don't want to, you know, go on you women too much on this, but a lot of women have a hard time with, they'll forgive, but they won't forget.
They won't forget.
Well, I think that goes both ways.
Yeah, we forgive.
That goes both ways.
We forgive in 10 minutes.
Because you have a lot of unforgiving men.
10 years.
That's an individual thing to me.
Then you have to look at why it happened.
Right.
Now, if I'm laying beside you every night and you ain't trying to do nothing with me, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that go both ways, male or female, because I talk with both
boring.
families. It's just a matter of time.
What's the phrase they use nowadays? What he or she won't do, the next person will.
The next person will.
It causes you to go out and cheat, right?
And I know for a fact, people don't cheat all the time because they don't love the person.
Right. Now, you have very few instances where, like you said before, the whole cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Some people live by that creed, and that's just the way they do. But like you said, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're not happy at home. And I know a lot of us, I know I personally have been there.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what I find out the most part and the most important thing in a relationship is communication. Because, you know, it's so funny, and this is what I learned in my 51 years living.
She's a midget.
I learned that, you know, sometimes you could be thinking something in your mind,
ain't
right?
Even true. Ain't even happening.
And it's not even, it's not even so. But see, the mind is very powerful. So you thinking something.
Preach.
And you ain't said, and you know, the person over here hasn't said anything, you know. And your man might be, maybe he took too long to come home. But he got delayed because it was a flat tire. The phone wasn't working.
So
You know what I'm saying?
But
So
that
all of
goes
your
back to communication.
Yeah, right. It's communication. But sometimes, but you didn't never say nothing, right? But in your mind, this thing is festering. But you just started reacting. You didn't even ask him, baby, what happened? You know what I'm saying? You just assume, you know, because everything looks like it is, isn't? So that's why communicating is very important. So you said, you know, baby, you took a long time. Is everything okay? You know, communicate instead of just reacting on your thoughts and not even. And then your husband don't, and your mate doesn't even know what the heck, why you tripping out, because you haven't even said anything to him about the way you felt. And it might be a reason, but because you didn't communicate that, it never got communicated. You just started reacting on emotions. A lot of women have that problem.
Yes, more so now than ever.
I admit that a lot of women have that problem.
More so now than ever.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Yeah.
They can't let go.
We're emotional creatures anyway, but, you know, communication definitely is important.
It is.
Because I had a girlfriend, and she got mad at her friend because he didn't buy her what she thought she should have bought her for her birthday. And so she had a little attitude. I said, well, did you ask him? Did you tell him? I said, maybe if you would have told him that's what you wanted, he might have bought that for you.
Exactly.
You know, that goes with the communication. You know? She said, yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. She had an attitude because she was expecting something else.
Well, she was expecting a ring.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a ring, but it was, I mean, she was expecting something else, for him to do something else.
Strong relationships. It takes healthy people.
Yeah.
And what I mean by healthy people, you have to become whole from your past. You can't hold on to your past and bring it into something new. It won't last. It won't survive the storm. Because I can't blame Sam for what Sarah did.
No, can't.
You have to make sure that you're finished. This chapter is closed before you move on.
Yeah.
Because there was a time I was dating this girl, and she did some cheating, and you know. And every time I would see this other girl that I was interested in, all I could see was her face. And I said to myself, I can't move on.
And
because I'm a
not
type
only
because
person.
your heart is still there.
Yeah, because I was still, even though I wasn't physically there, my emotions were still there.
And not only that, you need that healing time.
You got to have
Because
it.
at one time, I remember I was jumped from one relationship, finished with this relationship, but then I believe that you should have some kind of healing time to regroup before you jump into another relationship. Because a lot of times you wind up taking that same baggage into that relationship.
Yeah.
So I believe that in some healing time between relationships.
Healing time is very important.
Very important.
And they always say that it takes twice as the amount of time to get over a person as the duration of the relationship. And that may not be true for every relationship, but for a lot, that's pretty much the truth. And you know, whether you may think so or not, some people are strong enough to just stop it short and just move on, but others are not. And like
some
I said,
never get over it.
They don't.
Never get over it. And they kill out everybody that come into their life.
Yeah. And it's not fair for the next person because you allowed this person to make you feel a certain way. And I've always was a firm believer of one person or a couple of few people should not sway your decision on that whole gender. Say if it's a female that had a lot of men problems, don't look at the next one like, oh, he probably a dog too, because you never know, because God might have that person be your blessing and you just close that door.
Yeah, you beat them to death, not even realizing. And then you find out, like you say, it's too late now. I had a good thing, but I messed it up because I wasn't healthy. You got to get healing. You got to get healing.
But as you can see, we have a juicy topic going on here on relationships, but I'm gonna take my last break here, and we're gonna continue with the relationships right after this.
It's a dark word. When it's directed at you or a loved one, it can turn your world upside down and leave you in a scary, lonely place. But there is a way to bring in some light. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Light the Night Walks are held every fall in communities across the U.S. and Canada. They are hope-filled evenings when families and friends, neighbors, and company teams come together to support people battling cancer. Walkers raise funds for life-saving research and services for patients and their families. Light the Night walks are evenings filled with emotion. Participants experience the warm glow of a caring community. Whether you're a cancer survivor, supporting someone who is battling cancer, or have lost a loved one, your participation in a Light the Night walk will bring light and hope to millions. We all know someone impacted by cancer. It's time to walk the talk. Register today at lightthenight.org.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is E's Roundtable. I am Ervin Williams, and I have look at here. Got two new cast members. State your name.
My name is Malica Fleming.
My name is Christopher Fleming.
And we're going to continue the topic on relationships. And Mr. Fox, I'm going to keep picking on you because you're closest to me.
Oh, man.
All right. So we're going to go into the next question. This question is, who do you think are bigger players, men or women?
Loaded question.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a loaded question.
Yes, and you can load it out however you want to.
I'm going to say women, because I know she's next, and she's going to say women.
Well, you got to hook her so she can hook you back.
Yeah, right.
Let's keep it moving.
Oh, women.
Okay.
Honestly, I would say both. I can't say one or the other. I have seen some dirty things, transpire when it comes to men, and there have been some really crazy things I've seen women do. So I can't say either or. I'm sorry, I'm play fence on this one.
Now, what makes you? I mean, do you have any thing that you want to say as far as reasons why you think certain way?
I don't know. I really don't like to generalize. I really don't. I'll say that just won't bring personal into it, but I've just had so many different experiences with men and women, and seeing just the kind of the dirty stuff and tricks that either can play. So I would say either or, either way.
Chris?
If we're talking player, 55.
No, it could be any aspect. It could be cheating. It could be
55%,
manipulating the mind.
55% women, 45 men.
55, 45.
So we got two votes for women.
Yeah.
What you think, D?
Definitely women. Definitely. Because women are trying to survive this day, and they're going to do whatever it takes to survive. And I know this from experience.
Oh, yeah. And my experience with it, I would say women too. I mean, everybody has their men, they got their things too, but the biggest thing is that I say about women is that women, you women, Lord, you women, are so good at lying, at connive. I mean, y'all just so good at it. At being sneaky. I mean, you guys can walk a room and smile and everything. Everybody think it's cool. You walk away like, I got him. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been a fool to it a couple of times in my life. But
I think there are many instances where some men will give women reasons. You know what I'm saying? To be that way.
What reasons do you think they would give?
Lying, cheating. I mean, there are a plethora of things that a man can do. I just think it's unfair to just place it all on women.
No, I'm not placing it all on women. I'm just saying in a generalized state, women are just good at it. I mean, men, we can't lie for nothing. Because first of all, we will forget. We will forget our lie. He'd be like, and y'all be like, hold on, wait a minute. You said the other day.
I will agree.
Well, there are some men that are like that, but I think for men, I think we sort of kind of we walk into a situation, if we know we've done wrong, I think we have a tendency to walk into a situation with an anticipation, I'm gonna get caught. I obviously did, like, because we steady checking, like making sure, okay, did I leave,
did I erase? You know, like we
text
we,
messages.
right? You know, what I mean, we approach the situation going back, double checking. Whereas with women, I think the difference is that before y'all even enter the room, you've checked it 2 times, 3 times. You know it's flawless. Y'all good. You know. You didn't spray the Bath and Body Works, you know what I'm saying? So you good,
So
you
we're
know.
cooler about it.
Right,
Cooler.
exactly.
That I would agree with.
And see, we sweat. I mean, physically, and you could just see it. Physical sweat, and you could just see it in our face. We lying, you know. Me, I can't lie for nothing. You know when I'm lying. I'm like, was it Cedric, Daryl? I was with one of them, you know, because I had plenty of times where I had friends that'll call me and be like, hey, if she call you, tell her I was with such and such. I wasn't there. I was like, ain't even got your lie straight. And she already know.
Right.
I mean, I got to get, and that's the reason why I say it's not like I'm, you know, pushing it all on y'all, but y'all just better than it is.
And to piggyback off of that, again, we think of it after the fact that we've done it.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't thought of it before you did it, while you was doing it. You know, so it's done. It's laid out. It's a flawless plan.
And the biggest thing with y'all is, y'all don't tell nobody. We stupid. We go around and we call our boys.
Yeah.
Hey, I was at the bar and we was at the club.
And we do tend to keep it under wraps a little bit better than men do.
Yes.
I will agree.
But that's changing, though.
Yeah.
Women are talking.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
talking.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they're verbalizing with no problem.
Nah. Sometimes it's to put people on blast.
Yeah, I mean, women are going at each other's throat like, woo.
Right.
Well, they'll call you in a minute.
Yes, you want to see a good show, read a good show article, go on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
They tell everything.
Oh, they tell everything. Facebook and Twitter is worse.
They will tell everything.
Yeah.
Who slept with who, why they
Right.
done it, where they was at, what time it was, the whole night.
You know everybody business.
Right.
Everybody.
You ain't even got to fish no more. It's just
Nah.
right there on your timeline. Just
Yeah, they thank God for waking them up that morning, start dissing their girlfriend.
The rest of the day.
It's deep. Women are up on their game because, you know, they got better jobs now.
yeah.
You know, I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need a man, so, you know, they can play more.
Yeah.
You know, I got the ups on you now.
Well, some women are like that. There are some. I don't think all of us out there are. I am independent, but I also like to think of myself as interdependent. I mean, I can exist on my own. I can. I mean, no, seriously, I can, but I don't have to, and I don't choose to. I choose to stand with my husband, with my man.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, we all strong, and we should be, and we should stand on our own 2 feet, but you need companionship every once in a while.
You do, and I think any woman is fooling herself. I'm sorry to independent.
Listen,
No,
ladies, listen.
no. I really feel as if women who say that they don't need a man, I believe that is it's false. We all need each other.
You heard it first, right
It's
here.
true.
That's what God made us.
Somebody.
Yes.
We all need somebody.
Yes.
So, going to my last question. Now, when you're on a date with somebody, and that date just doesn't go how you want it to go,
Oh boy.
who will take care of that bill? Mr. Fox?
It depends on how bad that date is going. I mean, if we like at each other, I'll pay for my bill. But if it's like, if I just realize, okay, this is not going to work, and I asked her out, and I'll pay for it, and we'll gladly go our separate ways.
And that's the thing. I agree. If the man,
Right.
whoever asked,
Right.
Yes.
I think should. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But a woman ain't going to never ask. So y'all ain't gonna,
Well, I
especially
mean,
when-
there,
especially when
hey,
just
Some,
meet you
hey,
and
well,
just
there
no,
are-
there are some women that will
The bold ones,
ask.
very
They're all
few.
bold enough to ask.
Oh,
You know. You know.
So they gonna pay for it?
Oh, yes.
I'll be honest with you. Our first date, I almost got my arm broke because she literally shoved me out the way to go pay for the second set of tickets to the second movie that we went to. I paid for the first one, you know, and then we were enjoying ourselves, so it wasn't a bad date. Obviously not, because we're married. So right. So
Testimony, true love does exist.
right.
It
you
does
know,
exist.
But we had decided, okay, well, let's go catch a second movie, you know. And literally, I was getting ready to go, and then I just moved out. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like,
I'm the man, ain't I supposed to pay?
Right.
Make you feel
know,
some type of way.
Right. so she paid for the second movie, and then I think we split?
We did.
Yeah. So there you go.
I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
Any last remarks on that?
Wow. I need me one of them type of women. I don't mind paying, but I do get tired.
I gave you a hint. BlackPeopleMeet.com. Little shout out there. You know,
It works.
Now, how I feel about that is, I'm naturally gonna pay, but like you said, if it depends, it really pertains to who asks first. If she asks for it, I'm gonna pull the wallet out anyway, you know, just in case.
An attempt.
You know,
right?
an attempt at least, you know, because we could go Dutch.
It's that slow draw.
I pay for yours.
Oh, you got.
Oh, you got. That's fine. I'll put it back.
But the waiter always give the bill to the main.
Yeah, always, and they look right in your eyes
That's true.
too. Here you
That's
go, sir.
true. That's true.
Although some waiters are very slick, they just put it in the middle, in the
Yep.
center, in the center of the
I've seen that
table.
too.
They roll up and just, yeah, there you go. Whoever's
It's
gonna take care of
2012.
that.
Women got good jobs now.
Right, exactly,
Smart way.
exactly. Then once they run the card or whatever, and they look at the name on the card, then they give it back to, oh, well, thank you, Mr. Fleming, or thank you, Mrs. Fleming. Like, yeah, thank you. It works.
All right, well, that concludes our first show. I am Ervin Williams, and this was E's Roundtable. Thank you all again.